What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the Launchpad with Lvnding. My name is Chris, and we have a very special guest with us tonight, and I'm not joking. He is the one and only, a legend in our lifetime and possibly this new coming generation too. Give it up for the legend, Holly. Welcome aboard.
Much love. Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
appreciate
thanks for being here. Yeah. And just before being in the media and being interviewing myself, I'm a fan first.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
I know you've been around for a long time, but there are people here who are just meeting you for the first time. Mm-hmm. So can you describe us a little bit about your journey and what got you to this point?
Yeah, it's been an interesting journey, and I love every point of it, every part of it. I think my journey, basically started 10 years ago, in Portugal, just in my bedroom, getting FL Studio and just making beats and just trying stuff and learning how to produce. And then I started to DJing a year after to just bring my music from my room to the stage, because I was trying to find a way to my experience with music to not just be me in my bedroom all the time, and be able to connect with people in real life too. So I started to DJing because of that mainly, and then I was just doing a lot of stuff on SoundCloud and just releasing on a lot of different labels around the world, and then just started getting invitations to play in different places, and that's when I started touring in Australia and coming here to America, in Asia, and then and just been trying to push things forward since then. But it's been interesting because I feel though even though I've been doing this already for 10 years, I'm still very new to a lot of stuff, so I think that excites me as well, to just keep staying humble and being very excited about trying new stuff musically and growing. So
Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
And especially that transition from moving out to LA too.
Yeah.
You described one of the biggest challenges in your journey was just trying to keep the joy in what you're doing. Mm-hmm. And it just seems like you're having so much fun now with going
Yeah. I'm trying to do more. Yeah, I think after the pandemic, I really got more joy in DJing. I feel I was enjoying a lot of DJing too before, but I think before the pandemic, I kind of took it for granted a little bit. I'm always gonna have shows and I was gonna be able to play and stuff. Yeah. And then the pandemic happened, and I was like, oh man, maybe that's it. I'll never be able to DJ again. I wasn't trying to be that negative, but I was like, yeah, this can be an option. So after the pandemic, just being again surrounded by crowds and just being on stages and playing shows, it's kind of it just was a resurrection of my joy in playing music live. I think I always love making beats, and I think I'm always gonna love to do it. But the live part is I'm just having more and more fun these days, and just getting more confident on being on stage and stuff. So I'm kind of shy sometimes, so being on stage sometimes can be a big shock, but I try to make it work. So, but yeah,
absolutely.
Very important. Yeah.
And one thing that I love about you and your sound especially is how versatile you are, and that you're not afraid to push the boundaries and work with some people who are even experimental and vocalists. You've had the honor of working with the ASAP mob, AP TyY. Yeah. You've worked with Danny Brown with Quaranta, which is incredible to me.
Yeah, thanks, man. Appreciate
how did you make all of that come together with such amazing people?
I think that just comes from my love for hip hop. I think hip hop was maybe I was listening to a lot of different music styles growing up, but I think hip hop was maybe the first music style that I was oh well, I really I'm in love with these, and that was such a young age. And electronic too was at the same time. So when I started making music, my priorities was always to give back a little bit to those cultures and and try to pay my respect to those music styles that have done so much for me, and that it changed my life completely, and so much of my joy in life comes from me getting connected with hip hop just in general, with the values of the community and everything. So so for me it's super important to keep working on stuff like that. It's always just brings me so much joy, especially when I'm able to work with people as Danny Brown that I grew up listening to him so much, and even I went to watch his show the other day, and he played this song called Grown Up. That was man, I used to listen to that song so much when I was 16, 17, and it was also a record that just talks about the bar is whoever thought I'll be the most grown up, something like that, and that was something I was growing up as a teenager. Damn, I just hope one day I just am like one of the people taking the most far in life, like from my community, you know. So yeah. So anyways, it's just like I just love the like both styles. So for me, it's like very important to keep doing things, you know. And yeah, I think sometimes it can be kind of confusing for fans, like being like doing stuff very differently. Yeah. But like yeah, it's my love and my joy. So I've been like trying to find like a way to just be more consistent with both too. So yeah.
Absolutely, and you have paid your respects in so many ways too. And speaking of new things coming up, you have some upcoming projects, and from word through the grapevine is you have something with Hypnovision coming up?
Yeah. Like I just finished an EP for Hypnovision that'll be coming out really soon.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be playing some of the new music tonight. And yeah, that's like the next like project, you know, and I'm like very stoked about it. So yeah. Shout out Hypnovision and Reyes too for having me on the show. Like, very, very happy to be here, man. Hell yeah.
Absolutely. And how was that transition from where you were with hip hop and paying homage to them to where you are now with going back to the experimental side?
Yeah, I feel like it's like a balance. I feel like when I do too much of one, I need to do like too much of the other one to like balance things, you know. So yeah, like I'm always like doing both at the same time, you know. It's never been a time where like I do one more than the other. Like I'm pretty like balanced with both. Like every month I do like a bunch of ideas in like both styles. But sometimes it's just like trying to find like the right home, or like, you know, people that also like are excited about the music and understand the vision that I'm trying to execute. So yeah, and like timings and everything. So yeah, but I'm always like on both. So yeah, it's pretty easy to like jump from one to other. Yeah.
That's great. And even through now, like sometimes, even though you've been around for a while, you have to remind people that you're also an award-winning producer as well. Like in many respects.
Yeah. It means what it means. Like it's like, you know, everyone can be like there, you know. But like I just respect and appreciate like, you know, the fact that, you know, I get to carry some titles and people like respect that. So yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah. But there's no like better or worse, I think, you know, as I grow, like I used to be like, oh yeah, like these guys' beats are better than that guy beat. But like nowadays it's like, oh man, like we are like the same, you know, like there's no like, you just like express yourself and like there's no way you can say that someone's expression is better than some other person's expression. So for me, yeah, it's when I think about those prizes, it's like, yeah, it's just like based on someone's opinions, because already like I was some championships too, so it's like, you know, like, so it's all good. Yeah,
it's all right. You learned from the journey, and it all brought you here, and it all happened for a reason. And we're glad to have you here. Thank you so
my pleasure,
much,
man. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you, man. Appreciate it.
And we're here live in Phoenix, Arizona with the one and only Holly. Be on the lookout for his upcoming releases on Hypnovision Records. That is Rez's label. And my name is Chris. This is Moon Landing on the Launchpad. We'll see you next time.
Thank you, Chris.